Good morning, everyone. I'm Rev Ogun Holder, and welcome to another virtual Sunday service here at Unity on the River on this Labor Day weekend. It is September 6th, and I'm glad to be here with you. Let us begin today with a centering prayer. So wherever you are, whenever you are, I invite you to take a deep breath and connect with the heart space. Place the hand on the heart just gently and breathe in to that heart space. And in so doing, know that even though we are not physically in the same space at the same time, we are still connected heart to heart. The endless divine love that is the source, the essence of who we are, does not know time, it does not know space. All it knows is oneness. The oneness that we are, the oneness that God is, transcends location, transcends time, transcends division. It transcends all, and it stands under all. And today we ground ourselves in that truth, and we remember that today. We celebrate that and be inspired today by the words and the music. And in so doing, we continue to make spiritual community our ever-present reality. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen and amen. So welcome, as always, our fantabulous music team. We got music director Meg Rain. We got the boys in the shed, Brian and Keith. And right now I'm going to turn it over to Meg, who is going to share with us an original Meg Rain. Meg Rain churns out songs, I don't know, like 2-3 a week, whatever it is. We got another original from Meg. Take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Labor Day. I don't know about you, but I need to remember that I am the power and the presence and the love of God always. Fullness of God, the presence of God, lives as me, loves as me now. The fullness of God, the presence of God, lives as me, loves as me now. The freedom of God, the light of God. Everything I do, everything I speak reveals this truth. I am the passion and I am the beauty. I am the oneness of God. The fullness of God, the presence of God, lives as us, loves as us now. Fullness of God, the presence of God, lives as us, loves as us now. The freedom of God, the light of God, lives as us, loves as us now. The freedom of God, power of God, lives as us, loves as us now. Everything we do, every word we speak reveals this truth, that we are the passion and we are the beauty and we are the oneness of God. The oneness of God. There it is, the oneness of God. And so it is.
Very
I'll
nice,
pass
man.
it over to you, Keith. Take it away.
So we're going to do a song written by a friend of mine called "The Power of Love." And this, the gentleman's name was Don Rhodes. Hey there, Don. Blessed are you when you don't have much to say. Blessed are you when you feel like you've lost your way. Blessed are you when you're misunderstood and good is all that you're thinking of. Blessed are you when you live in the power of love. For you are the salt of the earth, the time it is now. You got things to do with your life, but you don't know how. You can let your light shine from a hill when you connect it to the light from above. You can do it all when you live in the power of love. You can do it all when you live in the power of love. Well, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. They shall inherit the earth. Blessed are the pure at heart, for they shall see God. They shall see God. And blessed are the ones who sacrifice, and blessed are the ones who serve. Blessed are you when you live in the power of love. Yes, blessed are you when you live in the power of love. Consider those birds in the air, now see how they fly. Consider those lilies in the field, they don't even try. In the middle of the riddle of good and bad, just give your heart to the dove. Like a bird or a flower, you can live in the power of love. Yes, you can have it all when you live in the power of love. Yes, blessed are you when you live in the power. Just like a bird or a flower, you can live in the power of love. You can have it all when you live in the power of love. Blessed are you when you live in the power. Just like a bird or a flower, you can live in the power of. Blessed are you when you live in the power of love.
Nice. Thanks, Keith. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Meg. And let us center ourselves even more in that power of love by some time in meditation. So wherever you are, I invite you to sit comfortably, just gently close the eyes and allow Meg's voice to take us into a deeper centered place.
Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha.
Let us continue to center As we connect with the breath, simply allow your attention to follow the inflow and outflow of the breath in this moment. With each out breath, allowing the body to fall into deeper stillness, sinking into the chair, the bed, wherever you are. And with each in-breath, becoming more mindful to this moment. Should you become distracted by a thought or a sound or a sensation in the body, know that they are reminders of this present moment because they too are happening now. So meet them with gratitude, not resistance. Notice without judgment, and simply return to the breath. Just breathe. With each breath, imagine yourself becoming more centered in your heart. This is the symbolic center of you, the symbolic center of love. It is the only place we ever need to turn when we feel anything less than love. This is the irony of who we are. We walk away from our center when we feel uncentered. So right now, in the midst of all what may be running through you and your life, let us turn to center, to the heart, to love. Let us breathe deeply. Breathe in and breathe out love. Be the embodiment of love. Breathe love in the silence. Let us remember grounding ourselves in love is merely a breath away. Let us walk each day, breathe in the power and the essence of love. Let that be how others see us and how we see ourselves. And in so doing, the presence of God is made known. Let us end our time together as we sing, Surely the Presence.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Thank you, Meg. So, it's no secret that there are really two types of people in the world. And there's a lot of different categories for those two types of people in the world. You have your Pepsi lovers and you got your Coke lovers, two types of people. You have people who don't like their foods on the plate touching each other. And you got those folks, food's all over the place mixing. You got your iPhone people, you got your Android people. You have those who truly believe and understand that Die Hard really is a Christmas movie, and those who don't. That's okay. We walk in the world today and we see there's people who wearing masks and people who are not. Even this weekend, it's Labor Day, which reflects two types of people in the world, your workers in your unions and your establishment folk as well. But perhaps the greatest division of the two types of people in the world are those who, for some inexplicable reason, like their toilet paper rolling to the back towards the wall, or the correct way it should be, rolling over the front towards the person pulling it. I don't know why you would do it the other way, but hey, two types of people. Today we begin our exploration of one of my favorite books called Spiritual Partnership, written by Gary Zukav. And, you know, all those other types before were really sort of humorous, some of them. But what Gary Zukav speaks about in this book, as we introduce this concept of spiritual partnership and the path it puts us on, is what he refers to as 5-sensory and multi-sensory people. Now, for most of you, this is not going to be new news. Those of you listening are probably people who've been on the spiritual path for some time, so you might be aware of all of this already, but just bear with me a moment in case there's some for whom this is new information. And for those of us who've been on this path for a while, I invite you to listen with new ears, as they say in the Zen world, with a beginner's mind, just in case there's something that resonates with you for the first time. So we have these two types of people walking in the world, the 5th century and the multi-sensory. The 5th century people, as the name suggests, base their reality experience on what their 5 senses can detect, what they can see, hear, touch, smell, and taste. And this is also how they relate to other people. This is how they are in relationship with folks, based on what's real in terms of their senses. But there's a new sort of way to perceive the world, the multi-sensory way. And shouldn't really say new, it's kind of always been this way, but it's now emerging as just as real, even more real than the 5th century experience. It's the relating to the non-physical phenomenon that goes beyond our 5 senses. Wisdom, compassion, intelligence, design, purpose. These things can't be really detected with the 5 senses, but a multi-sensory person knows they're real, can feel it in themselves and others, can, in a sense, see it beyond the physical eye, see it playing out. 5 sensory people live in a world where they believe actions create consequences. Multi-sensory people, we also believe this, but what we also believe is that it's our intentions behind the actions that really create the consequences, not just the actions themselves. We can have 2 people doing the same thing and having different experiences. Our intentions have a lot to do with that. Because of that, 5 sensory people walk the world with the idea of, I'll believe it when I see it. Multi-sensory people, they know that when they believe it, they will see it. 5 sensory people, what happens in the world determines their belief. Multi-sensory people, what happens in the world validates their belief. For 5 sensory people, intellect is the primary vehicle for making decisions, whereas multi-sensory people, it's more intuition, that knowing beyond the knowing. For 5 sensory people, it's all about competition and hoarding and discord, whereas multi-sensory people walk in a world through the lens of cooperation and sharing and harmony and empathy. 5 sensory people walk in the world doing their best to avoid pain by controlling and manipulating other people and circumstances. It's all in an effort to not be wounded. Multi-sensory people walk in the world with a realization that we are powerful, loving, compassionate creators, and that pain is not to be avoided, but pain is an opportunity for us to learn more about ourselves, unfold more of the divine that we are, and continue to expand our consciousness and awareness. And I think you're picking up the difference between the two. And when you think of the 5 sensory versus the multi-sensory experience, imagine how that plays out in your relationships, in your romantic relationships, your friend relationships, your family relationships, your work relationships, even your church relationships. Because what often happens with us is that we are triggered most easily by the people in our lives. Also by the people who are not in our lives. In other words, our relationships, whether they may be casual or intimate, formal or informal, Our relationships with others in our lives are the most powerful context for creating who we are. So are we going to approach them from a 5-sensory perspective or a multi-sensory perspective? And how do you know which one you're doing? That's kind of the whole gist of this journey that we're about to embark on. Because it doesn't matter where we think we are, where we actually are is going to show up by our actions. Do we avoid conflict or do we lean into the differences? Do we become angry and take our ball and walk home? Or do we seek to bridge the gap? Do we blame others when things don't go our way and the outcomes aren't how we want them and it's their fault and they should be gotten rid of? Or do we see how we can step in to being part of the solution as well? Living from that place of harmony. Gary Zukav invites us to know that when we view relationships from that multi-sensory perspective, what we're doing is we're stepping into what he calls a spiritual partnership. It's the name of the book. A spiritual partnership. A spiritual partnership is one between equals for the purpose of spiritual growth. It's a partnership between equals for the purpose of spiritual growth. So when we say spiritual, what do we mean? For the context of this journey, because the word spiritual can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people, it's a journey into self-awareness and self-responsibility. A journey into self-awareness and self-responsibility. It's a journey into becoming more and more aware of not just who we are as human beings, but as divine beings, and owning our words, our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, the experience that we're having in our lives, knowing that absolutely we cannot and should not control the actions, words, thoughts, beliefs of others, but we can use them, see them as invitations to examine and transform our own. You've heard me say it many times, relationships are the greatest spiritual practice. And this is why. Now, let's be clear. I'm not saying that they aren't horrific and traumatic situations and abusive situations that you don't walk away from. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that we are here, if there's any reason we're here, is to live the full divine potential that we are, to allow that to unfold. When we live from that place, this world will look, we can't even imagine how different it would look. It'll be our wildest dreams come true. But what gets in the way of that is the continual shifts from living in that 5-sensory place to that multi-sensory place. And make no mistake, we're all on this journey. No one's really nailed it yet. But we can't do it alone. We have to be with others because they will show us our way. Because just when we think we've got it mastered, someone in our life will find the button and push. And how we respond will let us know where we are in that spectrum between 5-sensory and multi-sensory. How we respond will let us know how much more work we have to do. How we respond is an invitation to further evolution, to live in the highest potential that we are, what Gary Zukav refers to as authentic power. Authentic power. Again, this is not new news to some of you all, but as divine beings, there is limitless power that we are, that we have, to create the life experience that we want, to live that life of true fulfillment. And our five sensory stuff gets in the way every single time. So this is a journey we are about to embark on. And I hope you've got a copy of the book, Spiritual Partnerships. If you don't have it, go ahead and order a copy. We'll be doing this for a few weeks. This is the journey of creating authentic power, power that emanates from within, not dependent on our external circumstances, a power that is eternal, not fleeting and conditional. We are going to embark on a journey where we find and change the parts of our personality that do not intend what our soul intends. And what does our soul intend? Our soul intends harmony. Our soul intends what our soul is made of, which is love. Our soul intends bliss. Our soul intends fulfillment. Our soul intends wholeness because that's the reality of the soul experience. And we may glimpse moments of that in the deepest of meditations, or when we are, out walking in the woods or sitting on a beach and feeling the waves crash on the shore. We may feel that bliss for a few moments and then we return to the real world. But what if that was the only world that was your experience? Because you took the world of that experience with you in every moment. And this is the gift that others in our lives bring for us. They challenge us. They support us. They help us, and we help them rise to that occasion. So over the next few weeks, as you read this book and I share these talks, trust me, you will be challenged. You will look at your current relationships. Some of you may even want to reconsider some of your current relationships as you move forward. Or some of you may realize that all the relationships in your life right now are serving as an invitation for you to step into your own authentic power. It's not about blame. It's not about getting angry. It's not about wishing it were any different. It's about your growth and your transformation. Here's one of my favorite quotes in the book that I've read so far. He writes, "We can pretend that our lives and world are not changing and continue to relate to one another as before." The going back to normal. That's my insertion. Going back to normal. Phrase we hear a lot now. So again, we can pretend our lives and the world is not changing and continue to relate to one another as before, or we can use our relationships to transform into authentically powerful, loving relationships. Authentic, powerful, and loving. This is what we ultimately all want to experience in our lives. And we can't do it by ourselves. We need each other. So I want to invite you over the next few weeks to be open to this transformation, to truly be willing to look at where you are on the five sensory, the multi-sensory spectrum, and be willing to do what it takes to take the steps that will get you further to that place of authentic power. I need you so that I can get there. And you need me as well, because we are in this together. This is the gift of spiritual community, beyond a location, beyond who's doing what. The gift of spiritual community is us, growing together. So I look forward to the next few weeks of growing with you. Namaste. Let's ground us with a little more music right now, because I think this sound will really emphasize the point that when we get there, we will be experiencing heaven on earth. So turning it over to the boys in the shed.
Save me from this prison, Lord. Help me get away. 'Cause only you can save me now from this misery. I've been lost in my own place, and I'm getting weary. How far is heaven? And I know that I need to change my ways of living. How far is heaven? Lord, can you tell me? I've been locked up way too long in this crazy world. How far is heaven? And I just keep on praying, Lord, and keep on living. How far is heaven? Lord, can you tell me? How far is heaven? 'Cause I just got to know how far is heaven? Lord, can you tell me? Que stenato cielo e te me tu benediction. I got to know there's a better place than this place I'm living. How far is heaven? And I just got to have some faith, just got to keep on giving. How far is heaven? Lord, can you tell me? How far is heaven? I just got to know how far now. How far is heaven? Lord, can you tell me? How far is heaven? I just got to know right now. How far is heaven? Lord, can you tell me?
How far is heaven? The journey from the head to the heart, maybe? I know it's a rhetorical question, but that's my answer for how far heaven is. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Keith. And before we wrap up the service, a few announcements. First and foremost, in case you haven't gotten the memo yet, the sale process for our building is complete. Just happened in the middle of this week. All the paperwork's been signed and filed, and we are just awaiting transfer funds right now. And big thanks to the Spirit on the River team that helped manage the sale and has been managing our properties for rental units for years and years. Big thank you to all the folks who came in to help dismantle, clean, release. So very grateful for all the work that you did over the last few weeks. Big thank you to our operations director, Mary Jane, who oversaw all the packing and the purging and the move into the new office space. We're so grateful and blessed to have her on our team. If you're watching this Sunday morning, there will not be Zoom hospitality as usual, but at 11:30 a.m., we will be having a Zoom community meeting. So please join us for that. All the information about how to get on that Zoom call is on our website, unityontheriver.org, or in your newsletter if you sign up for our newsletter. The How to Be an Anti-Racist class that I'm doing with my friend Reverend Kelly Isola started this past Tuesday, but you can still jump in. All the info for that is on our classes page on the website. And starting really, really soon is the return, even though it's going to be Zoom, is the return of spirit groups. So many of you loved this last time. We launched it before. So, of course, now due to the COVID, it's going to be Zoom. All the information is on the website, unityontheriver.org/spirit groups, or just go to the website. There's a tab in a box there you can click to get the schedules. But rather than me talk more about it, let's hear directly from the person who is truly responsible for coordinating spirit groups in our community, Rhonda Heatley.
Hi, my name is Rhonda Heatley. I'm a longtime member of Unity on the River, and I also volunteer as the spirit groups leader for our community. Now, if you're not familiar with spirit groups yet, it's very similar to our Adventures in Faith program that we've run for many years. Essentially, it's a time to come together in a more personal way than a normal Sunday service, especially these days. And it's an opportunity for us to share ideas and listen to ideas and generally just have some fun together. And I don't know about you, but during all this isolation, I could really use some more fun with like-minded people. Now, the topic this session I'm very excited about. It's called Discover the Power, and it's based on Eric Butterworth's book, Discover the Power Within You, which is one of my absolute favorite Unity books. And you don't have to just take my word for it that it's an awesome book. Oprah herself puts it at the top of her must-read book list. If you're interested in this, we'll be meeting weekly starting September 26th via Zoom. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel zoomed out during my regular workday weeks. But I want to invite you into a different way to look at this. This is not going to be your everyday Zoom meeting. This is going to be something very unique because we will be focused on the expansion of consciousness, both for you and by supporting everybody else who's in your group. So if this is something that's interesting to you, or you just want to get a little bit more information, check it out at unityontheriver.org. Go toward the bottom of the page and you'll see a spirit groups icon. Click on that. You'll have more details about spirit groups in general, the content, as well as the meetings and how to register. Really hope to see you there.
Thank you, Rhonda. And she mentioned that the group start the week of the 26th. It's actually the 27th. That's a Sunday, is the 27th. So that whole week is when the groups start. Again, the schedule is on our website, so you can visit it there. Thank you, as always, for your ongoing investment in your spiritual community. Please head over to unityontheriver.org/donate to make a donation, or set up an easy text to give from your phone. If you haven't done this yet, text to give to 833-702-4337, and one-time setup with credit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and you can give in a snap like that. Stay connected to us, not just through spirit groups, but in the middle of the week on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, I host a midweek meetup and meditation, again on Zoom, 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. We had a fun group this past Wednesday night. So if you want to, in the middle of the week, get a little bit of uplift, a little bit of centering, a little more ways you can stay connected and feel connected and realize that even though we may be, staying inside, we're truly not alone. So information about that also, again, on our website, unityontheriver.org, in our newsletter, and we also post updates on our Facebook page and social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter. So there are many ways you can stay connected and get that information delivered straight to you. Please also sign up for our text alerts so that you can get reminders about the Sunday service and other things that are happening. Information about that is on our website. I think it's, you text UOTR to 313131, but double check it on the website because I don't have it in my notes right now. I think that's it for announcements. So take a few minutes, grab a snack, and meet back here at 11:30 for our community meeting. Let's close things up today with "Let There Be Peace on Earth."
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family, all are we. Let us walk with each other, perfect harmony. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And let us say together our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
We are the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
We are the power of God.
And the presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is,
and
all is well. And we are
richly blessed.
Enjoy your weekend, and maybe see you in a few minutes. Namaste.
Namaste, everybody. Love you.
Happy 4th.